that I will sometimes fall into, and I know that many of my friends do as well, and people I follow on Twitter, is this idea that, okay, this is over the line. No one is actually going to find a way to defend this. And every single time we are disappointed, or is it surprised, or let down, or whatever the case may be. And this applies to the insurrectionist mob of rioters that Donald Trump incited yesterday, who went to the U.S. Capitol, breached security, breached the doors, broke windows, got into Nancy Pelosi's office and vandalized, and so on and so forth. And I sort of, jokingly, what's a joke these days? I sort of tongue-in-cheek suggested, I'm sure they'll figure out a way to blame Antifa and Black Lives Matter for this. And that's exactly what many people did. Here is a clip from, so this is happening at the high level, and it's happening at the low level. For a clip at the high level, when last night the vote resumed in the joint session, most networks were covering it. But on Fox News, Laura Ingraham was saying that she heard that from the Washington Times, there were at least 2 Antifa spotted in the crowd. I'm not kidding. Take a look.
Actions we saw today do not represent this movement. The Washington Times is reporting that at least 2 Antifa were spotted in the crowd.
So, listen, first of all, even if it were true that there were 2 Antifa spotted, there were thousands of violent Trump insurrectionists pushing their way onto the Capitol portico, and some of them into the building, et cetera, et cetera. So even if it were true that 2 Antifa were spotted, it wouldn't really tell us much about the reality of what took place yesterday. It was a incited by Trump, pro-Trump, Trumpist, riotous, seditious insurrection, period. But what does it mean 2 Antifa were spotted? Did they have signs? Because if they were just dressed in black, a lot of the riotous pro-Trump seditionists were also dressed in black. And they specifically, many of them, planned to dress in black. So if this is true, it's irrelevant. Whether it's true is a real question. And then, of course, the idea that this is anything other than a genuine pro-Trump movement is not supported by fact. Now, unfortunately, so Ingraham is an example of this happening at the high level. Oh, 2 Antifa were spotted. Absolute trash, okay? But friends of mine who have conservative family members, as an example, I had an inbox full of screenshots and posts yesterday of my friend's aunt, my friend's cousin, whoever else, posting all sorts of content claiming that this entire thing was staged by the left. There really weren't any Trumpists, that the Trumpists that were there and peacefully walked to the Capitol weren't the same ones that breached. And, of course, you have to suspend all disbelief in order to even plausibly consider that this is the case. But unfortunately, once again, when we assume wrongly this is over the line, nobody will defend this. Even for them, this is too much. We're wrong every single time, and they've figured out a way through a combination of arguing that a few bad apples, maybe not even right-wingers, the bad apples might all have been Antifa or Black Lives Matter, for which there is no evidence. Another version that I saw, and in fact, there are some enlightened centrists who have YouTube channels who were making this case. The problem is the media with bloodlust showing the video of what's going on. I actually heard that yesterday and saw it on Twitter today, which is the problem is not the first order, which is that people are doing this and they are Trumpists, and even though we were told it's the left that's violent, it's the right that has done something that hasn't happened since the 19th century, breaching the Capitol building with property crime and vandalism and violence and all this stuff. That's really the issue. There were people saying the media's coverage of this is sensational and salacious. What? That's what you think is the problem? The fact that media were accurately reporting about the seditious, insurrectionist, riotous behavior that was taking place? So we've seen every combination. There is no defense too absurd. There is no defense too ridiculous that some of them won't try it. You know, there's all these rules. Godwin's law, which I think is the longer an internet discussion goes on, the more likely it becomes someone makes an analogy to Hitler or Nazis. Or, you know, all of the Occam's razor. There should be some principle named for the idea that any defense of Trump or Trumpists, no matter how absurd, will eventually be made and put out there by some of these Trumpists. And all we can really do is continue to stick to the facts, not become you know, one of the things was a lot of people were writing to me saying, how do I respond to this? You know, my aunt is posting that what's going on is not really what's going on. What do I do? And my advice is do nothing. Unfortunately, I think that if you want to adopt what I call a retail strategy, which is arguing with people one-on-one, I don't really have advice for you. I really don't. I don't think it's a good idea. If somebody really sees what happened yesterday and actually believes or has convinced themselves that they believe it was really Antifa or something like that, I don't see the point of arguing with them. I think the healthier approach is to say, this person believes this stuff as a result of like a 40-year campaign of pseudo and anti-intellectualism and false talking points that really go back to like Reagan's idea of this welfare queen who was just getting rich off of having kids and drove a Cadillac and lived this great life. That is sort of the beginning of everything we've seen. Immigrants are dangerous, and communists are coming in, and Joe Biden's a social, you know, all that stuff. We need to be thinking about more of a wholesale strategy, which includes changing the media landscape, changing the culture, changing education. And my instinct is that's healthier than getting frustrated with Aunt Blanche sharing that crazy thing about how it was really Antifa who did the thing. To me, it seems like an exercise in futility, but I'm open to having my mind changed. That's just my advice. One of our sponsors today is Lucy, and they are giving my audience 20% off. Lucy is a company founded by Caltech scientists with only one mission, which is to help people quit smoking and vaping by offering a clean, affordable nicotine alternative. Now, many of you know, you've heard the stories. I've known several people in my life who have struggled with quitting smoking. I've seen how difficult it can be. And nicotine alternatives can be hugely helpful. Lucy offers a nicotine gum in 3 flavors, wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. They also have lozenges, which come in cherry ice flavor. Lucy is affordable. It'll ship right to your door. You don't have to go out to the store. Shipping is always free. You can buy single boxes or save with a subscription. It's the year 2020. It's time to throw the cigarettes away and get rid of the vape. And Lucy can make it easier. You'll find a ton of excellent reviews online from countless people who have used Lucy to quit smoking and vaping. Go check them out at lucy.co. I've put the link right underneath this video, and you'll get 20% off when you use the coupon code PACMAN. And just a quick disclaimer, I'm required to give. These products contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
With all your experience in national security, what's your assessment of how our legislative branch was so blatantly breached when it comes to our national security?
Well, first off, it's quite simple. They planned for this. There had been many indications. I had been reporting them on Twitter, and other people had been putting them out, that these people were planning a major action on January 6th. As soon as the certification happened on December 14th, they started talking about January 6th going to the Capitol. Donald Trump tweeted about it, that come to the Capitol, it'll be wild. They had in their mind that they were going to take back the United States government from liberals and pedophiles and everyone else that they view as undesirable. So what they did was they did it under cover of a mass people action. You have to remember, during his speech, Donald Trump said, we're going to go down there and we're going to go embolden our politicians and we're going to walk down to the Capitol. Before that, he was finished. We were watching live streams from these insurrectionists themselves. They were moving quickly towards the Capitol building. And overwhelmingly, the leading edge, the front edge of them, were young people under 30. I thought that was quite surprising. What we would call military-aged males. That was just one thing. But another component of this at the 80,000-foot level is the White House and the national security infrastructure of Donald Trump's government saw white Trump protesters as not a threat. Therefore, they only had as much staff as the Capitol as they would have on a regular business day. This was a national security event. The Vice President of the United States was there. The Vice President-elect was in the room, both with Secret Service details. The Speaker of the House was there. The President pro tem was there. 1/3 of the United States government could have been killed or injured. When they got to that building, they were executing the thoughts of the Michigan plotters when they were just going to take over the building and start killing people.
So let me ask you, Nance, because look, we have these reports. According to reports, there's another planned attack on the U.S. Capitol and also on state legislatures across the country on January 17th. Based on what we've seen this week, do you feel like the U.S. Capitol is prepared for another violent insurrection like this? Because Congressman Clyburn seems to be suggesting that there was some sort of inside information or inside help from law enforcement agencies to usher these people to certain offices. Where do you stand on that?
Well, I'm not sure about that. They had more than enough internal information. Look, I've been in that building. I couldn't find his office. I think just the thrust of people power put so many people throughout the building that people just found his office. Now, the place where it was most dangerous was the Speaker's lobby, and that's where deadly force was used to keep those rioters from getting into the chambers where there were hundreds of members inside there and possibly carrying out executions. They built a gallows on the mall, right? So that tells you that what their intent was a large hostage barricade and quite possibly the executions of government members.
They're both very comfortable. Let me just ask you.
They chanted hang Mike Pence.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you, because we're running out of time, and I really want to get to this because, according to reporting, the Washington Post ran a story about Secret Service agents being asked to step down, essentially, that they're reassigning Secret Service agents to President-elect Joe Biden because there were concerns about QAnon believers and, strong-hearted MAGA supporters infiltrating the Secret Service. The Secret Service is not just guard the president. They don't just guard the vice president. They guard a lot of leadership within our country. How concerned should we be that these violent insurrectionists have infiltrated certain parts of our law enforcement, particularly Secret Service, and quite frankly, law enforcement across the country?
Until recently, I believe that these organizations like the Secret Service, U.S. Marshals, other federal law enforcement agencies were what I call a jealous organization. They are jealous of their role and their loyalty to that job. But let me point out one of the top, insurrectionists, people who stokes radio every day, Dan Bonino, the owner of Parler. He was an ex-Secret Service officer under Barack Obama. The head of this, they had taken one of the senior Secret Service officers out of the Secret Service and made him a political appointee for Donald Trump, and now they've put him back into the Secret Service. What I'm afraid of as a counterterrorism specialist is that they're going to get an Indira Gandhi situation where one of her bodyguards killed her. Right? Rajiv Gandhi, one of the bodyguards allowed a woman with a suicide bomb next to him and blew him up. All bets are off now, right? A full scrub of the United States government has to be done to ensure that all members of government, no matter their party, are kept safe.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos. Well, good evening once again.
again. Day 1450 of the Trump administration. 12 days remain until the inauguration of Joe Biden as our 46th president. The effort to stop Donald Trump from doing anything over the next week and a half is gaining momentum inside, even outside the nation's capital. Tonight, the worst of all has befallen the president. His cell phone has been rendered mute and ineffective. The man who said he could not have been elected president without Twitter has been tossed off of Twitter. They announced tonight that his account has been suspended permanently, citing the risk of further incitement of violence. The company adds in a statement, plans for future armed protests have already begun proliferating on and off Twitter, including a proposed secondary attack on the U.S. Capitol and state Capitol buildings on January 17, 2021. That's actually an emerging threat. We have two experts standing by later in this hour to brief us on that very threat. It turns out all it took to get Trump banned from Twitter and Facebook and Instagram was his role in inciting the looting and desecration of our U.S. Capitol. Other pro-Trump groups gathered at state houses across the country, threatening state officials along the way. Meanwhile, the momentum is gaining speed to make Trump the first president to be impeached twice. Such a thing would settle any argument about history's worst president. Speaker Nancy Pelosi has thrown down the gauntlet in this area, telling Trump to resign or face a second impeachment or removal via the 25th Amendment. She drew that line in the sand after meeting with her caucus for nearly 4 hours and after talking with Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Mark Milley about making sure steps are in place to keep Trump from launching military hostilities, including but not limited to a nuclear strike. The speaker made the case for action against Trump in an interview with 60 Minutes.
The person who's running the executive branch is a deranged, unhinged, dangerous president of the United States. And only a number of days until we can be protected from him. But he has done something so serious that there should be prosecution against him.
3 House Democrats, members of the Speaker's team, have already drafted the articles of impeachment titled Incitement of Insurrection. NBC News reporting it could be introduced as early as Monday. The wording here includes this, quote, the president threatened the integrity of the democratic system, interfered with the peaceful transition of power, and imperiled a coordinate branch of government. He thereby betrayed his trust as president. The White House had this response today, quote, as President Trump said yesterday, this is a time for healing and unity as one nation. A politically motivated impeachment against a president with 12 days remaining in his term will only serve to further divide our great country. Well, this afternoon, President-elect Joe Biden was asked if he backed this push for impeachment.
I've thought for a long, long time that President Trump wasn't fit to hold the job. That's why I ran. So I'm focused on the virus, the vaccine, and economic growth. What the Congress decides to do is for them to decide.
Meanwhile, Republican Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska, and since this may happen again, let's pause to point out he has been a loyal Trump vote in the U.S. Senate all these years. He now says he's open to looking at impeaching Donald Trump.
The House, if they come together and have a process, I will definitely consider whatever articles they might move. I believe the president has disregarded his oath of office.
Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, now the first Republican senator officially to call on Trump to step down. In an interview with her hometown Anchorage Daily News, she said, quote, I want him to resign. I want him out. He has caused enough damage. He doesn't want to stay there. He only wants to stay there for the title. He only wants to stay there for his ego. She went on to question her own membership in what has become the party of Trump. Meanwhile, with the inauguration just 12 days away, Trump today announced he will not be attending the inauguration. Joe Biden seemed to be fine with that decision.
One of the few things he and I have ever agreed on. It's a good thing I'm not showing up.
Earlier, you'd said that if you'd hope that he would show up only in the sense that it was valuable to send a signal to the world about the transfer of power. You've clearly changed your perspective on that.
Because he has clearly demonstrated, he's exceeded even my worst notions about him. He's been an embarrassment to the country.
What about the Vice President, Mike Pence?
He's welcome.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.
Today, President-elect Biden was asked, what should happen to the people who invaded the Capitol building? In the storming of the Capitol, how should they be treated by your Justice Department? Should they be treated as domestic terrorists?
Yes, they should be treated as a bunch of thugs, insurrectionists, white supremacists, anti-Semites. And there's not enough. I mean, come on. You know, these shirts they're wearing, these are a bunch of thugs. And they're terrorists, domestic terrorists. And that'll be a judgment for the Justice Department to make as to what the charges should be. But the fact is, they should be prosecuted. They should be prosecuted. The difference here is, this had the active encouragement of a sitting President of the United States.
Last night in this program, we focused on the anti-Semitism of some of the invaders of the Capitol that Joe Biden referred to today. There was this man who has not yet been identified, but is subject to federal arrest and prosecution for invading the Capitol and possibly more crimes. We zoom in on his hoodie there, under that beard. You will see that it says, Camp Auschwitz. And here he is, outside of the Capitol. That's a better shot of him. We're going to leave his face up here on our screen for our national television audience in the hope that there is someone out there who can help the FBI identify and find this man. The words on the lower part of his hoodie, under the skull, are "Work brings freedom." As we pointed out last night, that is a rough translation of the German words that appeared across the top of the gate to Auschwitz that every Jew entering that death camp saw on the way to their deaths. Last night, we showed you an example of the shirts Joe Biden referred to today that say 6MWE. Here's the example of that shirt that we showed you last night. This picture was taken last month at a rally of Trump supporters in Washington, D.C. that also ended in violence. Shirts like that were reportedly seen on the Capitol grounds yesterday. The meaning of the poisonous code on that shirt is 6 million were not enough. That is exactly what Adolf Hitler believed. His extermination of 6 million Jews was not enough for him. Hitler wanted to exterminate every Jew in Europe. But Hitler killed himself in the last days of World War II, when American soldiers were liberating Hitler's death camps. American generals who thought they had seen every manner of human suffering in war cried, and some bent over and vomited at what they found in Hitler's death camps. Those generals and the soldiers who served under their command, including the hundreds of thousands of Americans killed in World War II, put their lives on the line to stop Hitler's Nazism from taking over all of Europe. They knew Hitler was not capable of mounting a transatlantic invasion of the United States. They knew Nazi uniforms were not coming ashore on the beaches of Cape Cod or South Carolina. They knew that Nazi uniforms would never make it onto American soil, and they never dreamed that people would be walking around this country, gathering in our nation's capital and invading the Capitol building in support of a president of the United States dressed in clothing that publicly declared something that Hitler himself did not ever dare to say publicly. 6 million were not enough. Never forget. While the invaders were rampaging through the Capitol, Donald Trump said to them, "We love you. You're very special. Never, ever stop that." This is the same president who said there were good people in Charlottesville who were chanting angrily, "Jews will not replace us." Never forget. We learned nothing new about Donald Trump this week. We learned nothing new about the Nazi element of his supporters who have been with him every single day of his political career, every day. Donald Trump has been embracing American Nazis every day of his political career. He has never stopped embracing them because they love him. Americans who want to exterminate Jews see themselves in Donald Trump. And Donald Trump smiles back at them and says, "We love you." Joe Biden said it yesterday. We could see it coming.
I wish we could say we couldn't see it coming. But that isn't true. We could see it coming. For the past 4 years, we've had a president who's made his contempt for our democracy, our Constitution, the rule of law clear in everything he has done. He unleashed an all-out assault on our institutions of our democracy from the outset.
So, Ed Snowden, a lot of people in this country are probably curious, when was the last time you had substantive discussions about coming home to the United States, and would this still be your preference? Do you still refer to it as home?
The United States will always be my home, and I'll always be willing to come back on a single condition, and I've been quite clear about this over the years. This is that the government guarantee that I have the right, and every whistleblower has the right, to tell the jury why they did what they did. Right?
One of you guys will be the sheriff. What's the sheriff's time?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Hey everyone, today we're playing a very special mod of Among Us. This time, we're adding the Sheriff role. The Sheriff is a crew member that has the ability to kill. Yes, kill imposters. So you no longer just need to vote them out. If you're a sheriff, you can just kill them. But if you're wrong and attempt to kill a crew member, you will end up killing yourself. So you gotta be really sure about your decision. And yeah, I got to try it out with all my friends. But before we jump into today's video, I want to just remind everyone that if you're not subscribed to the channel, and a lot of you are not, click the subscribe button. If you enjoy the content, hit the bell for notifications. This way you don't have to constantly check the channel. Although I upload every day, but you'll watch it as soon as it comes out, so that you can go into the comments and type first for some reason. Alright, enjoy today's video.
This guy's toast. Will I ever be sheriff?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
LG, it's my LG.
I put together this lobby to get a sheriff for a YouTube video,
Okay.
and I'm not gonna get one.
Protection?
Yeah.
Don't worry, Sheriff Kuno's on the job.
Wait,
I'm not the sheriff, sorry.
That was fast.
Jack, no!
Who would kill Jack?
Where is it? I fixed flights, so I should be clear for it. As I'm leaving, I see corpse. Yeah.
Guys, I kind of need to go to the bathroom real quick. Is that?
Yeah. We definitely won't vote you off.
Protect me, someone.
I voted Saikuno.
Saikuno was on top of me the whole time.
Oh, Tina doesn't have crewing.
Do you want to remake it?
I know Hafu is an imposter or sheriff because she wouldn't suggest a remake if she was. You're cleared, Haku.
Good point.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing.
What? Oh my god, people tried to vote Sykkuno? Sykkuno voted Sykkuno!
Wait, Sykkuno. Wait, how did he have time to vote?
How
That's
long
what
does it take?
Chris was asking. He didn't know why he voted if he was AFK.
Sykkuno?
Maybe he did it before he left? Sus.
Oh god, watch out for the stack kill. Watch out for the stack kill. Watch out for the stack kill.
Standards.
So, calm down here. Oh, fixed it. Ooh.
Toast is on a body. Toast is killing it.
What?
Oh my god! I saw you on top of a body on cam.
First of all, I'd like to thank Ray for being the only person who actually sat there the whole time.
I fixed lights and then I just peeked on cams. But actually, there were a lot of people who walked by this body, so I'm not gonna hard accuse. Because Yvonne walked by it, Toast walked by it, Ray walked by it. Like,
If you saw the body, then you should see the kill, right?
no, I was on cams and I saw you walking over the body.
It looked like
Not on
Yvonne and
cam.
Ray.
Walked past it.
Wait, what? Yeah. I saw Yvonne and then Toast walk by a body and then I saw Ray walk by a body. So
Are we in range of the report button?
Yes.
Wait, this,
Okay, so can you describe the order? It was Yvonne walking by. So the body was dead already?
The body was already dead and Yvonne and Toast were walking away from it, but then Ray walked by it too.
Where did Ray come from?
Yeah, no, I have the report button.
He was at the
actually, after I
button.
came back.
It's near the button. Isn't Sykkuno on the button?
He's been
Sykkuno
AFK.
AFK. I know. That's what I'm saying, so it shouldn't be him.
But I have secret information. I was there a little bit early before I unmuted and put my headphones in. I saw Toast and Ray there. Were the last people there. Thanks to them for being my pals.
I mean, I fixed lights and I got on
And then I
fence and
think-
I gave info and I didn't shoot
Yeah.
Why? Stop.
Did you see the body fall over on fumes?
No, it was laying
I'm
over.
so confused.
Yeah, me too. I just had 3 of you chilling near a body.
Technically, Yvonne walked past the body too, right? So that's 3 people?
Alright, Haku, let's have a chat, Haku. Let's have a chat. Was Yvonne, like, walking side by side with me?
She was in front, so it looked like she was the most innocent. It looked like you or Ray. So then you just kill me. I don't
So,
think
it should be Yvonne then, right?
It shouldn't be Yvonne.
Why?
She's the most clear for this.
So couldn't she kill
or
and then
Ray.
couldn't she have killed and walked away?
You would see it. So this is you and Yvonne.
But the lights were off.
No, I fixed them. And then I got on cam.
So it was that close, huh? So you think
No.
it's Ray?
And then I was thinking,
Well, or you.
Okay.
If you look more guilty than Ray.
I'm the sheriff. I'm gonna get her.
there was a
Come, boys. Come. Wait, there's a report button.
I'm a
There's a report
girl.
button.
I'm a girl.
Oh, God.
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, did you report Sykkuno? Oh.
I think I reported it, yeah.
Shout out to us, Ray. I have a riddle.
Hit it.
What's up?
Alright, what is it?
The imposter. Their name ends in a vowel.
Oh,
That's 4 people here. 5 people, actually.
And that even
Everyone
could be
except
you.
And Leslie. Well, I was counting.
Unless you count Buzzley.
No, it's the Buzzley.
Well, for this kill, it couldn't have been Leslie, that's for sure.
It ends in a vowel.
Okay.
And it's not Tina.
Oh, okay, that's 3 people. 4, I guess.
Shout out to us, Ray.
What does that mean?
Huh?
And it's Toast.
Toast and Ray. I mean, it's Toast and Ray.
Ray then! Because it's not...
Wait.
Why is he adding Toast?
Guys,
No, he's shouting me out.
he's trolling. You guys, he's
Give me
trolling.
a shout out, so
You guys know he's trolling,
Wait,
right?
Torch, can I get a shout?
We figured out the code. I
Shout
think
out
he's saying
to
about Ray.
Shout out to Kuno and Leslie.
Guys, I think Hafu knew too much. I think so.
I just know it's not Leslie.
You fucking bitch.
Ray, Toast, and Yvonne and Leslie going over a dead body.
not Leslie. She didn't mention Leslie.
Oh,
That's
not
the three of us.
I. Yvonne.
Ray and Yvonne.
Alright, this imposter loves calling lights.
Those end in vowels.
I just know it wasn't
lights?
Leslie.
Wait, Toast,
Yep.
who likes to call lights?
Oh, you know.
Tina?
Oh!
You know who. What?
Oh my god, you voted for
Oh,
Leslie.
I thought
Oh, you voted on 7?
Well, I thought we were on the same page.
Okay, I'm trying to solve the riddle.
We were on the same page.
Let's lights. Fix the lights. Fix the lights. Fix the lights.
Wait, the lights are fixed.
No, they love calling lights. No, I'm pressing the R button. I'm pressing the R button. Shout out to Ghost and Ray. Oh, no. Ray, fix this. Ray, fix this. Oh, wait, that's not Ray.
Button. Wait, we don't need a button.
Unless it's Ray. What the? Oh my!
She gasped too high.
No, come on! She ran on my body and she juked at last second.
Wait, Ray.
I fixed the lights. We're running away. And then the bodies reported.
I was sheriff. I was trying to click Ray, but a corpse jumped on my body at the last second. No! I'm turning in my badge.
No,
don't give up, Sheriff.
Wait,
That's
this is a lie.
Randomly.
He would have killed me if he was the sheriff because he would have. He was such a.
Oh, someone's getting a video.
Where are you guys?
So you guys think Toast as the sheriff got it wrong.
Wait,
we got 10 seconds
Wait,
left.
Corpse, who do you think it is? Corpse,
If it was me, I would have double kill.
Who do you think?
I think it's Ray. 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 I think it's Ray.
I'll back you up, Leslie. I'll back you up.
I didn't even vote.
What? You said it was Corpse.
I went to, but I was late.
Oh my God, she's the other imposter.
That was exactly what happened, Corpse. She turned to right at the very last second.
Oh.
Wait, why they even try to fix lights? It's such an early call. They can fix the time.
I'm pretty sure we can.
Go fix lights.
Ray killed every single person.
Oh. Come on, Sheriff.
God.
Wait.
Do you need to be kept alive? When I was sheriff, my main objective was just to stay alive until my kill cooldown was up. You got it? Okay. Okay, I'll just stick with you.
Okay. I'm so excited. Okay, where are we going? I saw you, man. I'm so excited.
So we get information, so we know who to kill. Okay, don't worry, Hafu. We'll get you the Okay,
Hello?
Kimmy.
Oh my God, my palms are sweating.
Kimmy,
Hi,
I know it's your first game with sheriff, but being a sheriff is a big deal.
Who's the sheriff?
You just become the...
No.
Kimmy, don't say
Yeah.
Don't say something. Don't say
What is something?
I heard nothing.
Oh. Wait, Kimmy, are you the sheriff?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm gonna... You're gonna get more information. You just want to kill someone.
Are you the sheriff?
Oh my God, no.
From the she's just... Because this is exactly how I felt when I was sheriff.
I didn't know what you're talking about. Wait, what do you want to happen with me? I'm crying. Okay. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, dog? What's up? How you doing?
No, chill. Okay. Wait, no one's on admin. Oh my gosh. Okay, no one's dead.
Which would be the more impressive when you randomly kill someone and get it right.
It's not you, it's us.
Hafu, you think it would be me?
What? You didn't say no. Okay. Oh God, I'm actually crying.
Imposters? Dude, I've heard Hafu laughing this entire game.
I'm not gonna go stand still. I'm going to go stand still.
Hafu, are you?
Wait, wait.
Hey, PogChamp.
No one's dead.
What's up, Hafu? Hey.
I think I still has tasks and I just wanted to check in with everyone.
Every task you did.
I did telescope, I did vials, I did the superintendent specimen, I did the download in office, and then I don't remember. Tim.
I was just joking, but that sounds believable.
Right.
Yeah,
Good cards,
Kafu's
right?
definitely innocent.
Mm.
Tina's also extremely innocent.
I think
Really? Yeah.
Too hard.
But no one
died.
no one has died.
Oh
Wait,
god.
It's like, no, but he could be trolling, you know.
Wait,
but
wait,
no one's died.
wait, Tina, what makes you think it's me?
Well, you said something kind of funny and then the lights turned off. What was the funny
Tell
thing?
them what I said. Yeah, what was funny?
I
What's funny?
can't remember. My brain's a little fuzzy. I have a really.
It's okay, Tina. I have a big question for the next button.
Wait, what are you guys trying to do?
What?
No,
yeah.
Alright, what are we talking about?
What's this meeting?
Oh, wow.
Okay, corpse.
Yeah.
You said, let's go. Where are we going?
Oh.
Wait, that's it? Let's go?
Yeah, where are we going, Corpse?
Where are we?
Yeah,
where
we going?
Space, right?
That's my,
Yell out a name
that's my
and I'll back
question.
you up no matter what.
You know what? Where are we going?
Oh god, who's driving this ship?
Oh god.
I'm gonna vote for myself.
We left the ship.
Oh Jesus!
Oh.
Wait, I voted for Leslie because I thought that was so cute.
Oh my god.
I looked at the color. I looked at the color in the leaf. Get her, guys! Get her! Oh my god! I thought I was
You guys almost killed me! Thanks to you,
Plan is working nicely.
Leslie, wait, Leslie, come with me, Leslie.
We actually do it, right?
Wait,
I'm
what's up?
here. What? No, I only have 2 more tasks. Do we do tasks?
I gotta tell you my task.
Number on me. Oh, grief all been, oh, G, oh boy, oh man, oh G. G, all been, right? Tina? Tina? Good person. Tina? I'm a really good person. Tina? Hello? I can hear you. Oh! I can hear you clicking your eyes.
They won't know we're here. Just be very quiet.
Yeah, Division.
Wait, can you hear me, do Astrid?
Yeah, I can barely hear your
Oh god. Alright, I'm just gonna stand still. I'm gonna stand still. I see Kimmy and Hafu. Kimmy and Hafu. Kimmy and Hafu.
I don't trust any of you guys. How come I can see you though?
Kimmy and Hafu.
Hey, you guys are perfectly fine.
Oh, good job. Good job. We got him, Toast. We got him.
How about I check my
Plug the info into the photometer and see what it spits out.
Hmm.
No one's dead!
It smells like bullshit, Sheriff.
Great, I Hafu?
Oh.
What?
Oh my god, someone's dead.
Oh god, okay. Hello?
Guys, I figured out where we're going.
Where are we going?
Let's go straight to Voting Town.
Okay,
so like
I love this destination.
Think back. Search your brains. I know it's been a scary round. You're all traumatized.
You're right, it's me.
Zoom.
Vote for the leaf guy, it's me.
No, stop it.
I love listening to you talk. Now's not the time.
Go ahead, Jack.
Who is it?
Keep the beautiful mouth of your shoulders.
Wait, Jack, who was it?
I asked a very important question to someone last time.
What was it, Jack?
Okay.
No, not what was it. Who was it, Saikuno?
I thought it was where was it?
What was it?
Alright, Toast, that fucking sound of yours is broken. It ends in a vowel.
Wait a minute, that's...
Wait, A-E-I-O.
That shit, that's super shut up, okay?
That's almost everyone, Jack.
This character is all cap.
All cap.
Oh, it can't be Corpse, it can't be.
Wait.
Trust.
But why?
Who's the
My
sheriff?
sosometer is not broken. It's spitting out facts right
I
now.
wasn't listening to you guys and weapons that entire time while you guys were standing on top of each other when lights went out. I wasn't standing behind the lower part of the map listening to you guys that entire time in weapons. That wasn't me.
Kind of sounds like
No,
that wasn't him.
That's a really...
Oh, must have been someone else.
That doesn't clear me, right?
It does. Alright, guys, I take it back.
Look, I'm gonna skip and let, the law enforcement handle these things.
That sounds good.
Oh,
Yeah, I
right,
trust
right.
in the sheriff. The sheriff.
It's up to you.
Sheriff will get him.
Leslie, you voted for me, Leslie?
No,
Sheriff,
you
keep that
voted
bang
for
on
me.
you. Oh, right. That's
Leslie,
Jesus, Leslie.
you're abusing this.
You got it.
Trying to get me voted out.
I'm just gonna socially distance. Not.
Oh God.
Dang.
Oh
Jack,
God.
sounds intense.
Oh God. Oh God. What?
Can you draw me eyes?
Marco. Marco.
Please, please.
I need the.
Paula!
I got the light. You guys stay safe. Man, I sure hope I don't die on the way to life.
Why does nobody fix these darn lights except for me?
Oh, don't fix it, Tina. Don't fix it. I'm
What
gonna
the
leave
heck
if you
are
fix
you
it.
doing?
We're trying to get a double right.
Sakina, you're a hero.
Yeah,
You did
yeah,
it.
I
You
fixed
saved
the
the
lights.
village.
Look, I'll be honest. I don't know why Tina just ran off.
Hello.
My God! Why did that? Oh! He's the killer! Yes! What?
Wait, who's the killer?
I'm the corpse! Huh? I killed the corpse! You're sheriff!
Oh, you got him!
Yeah! Yeah! Wait, I'm the killer!
What if she's the killer?
Yeah, that is true. What is?
Hafu, stop
Think
doing
back
this.
to the riddle.
I was so excited! I was freaking out the whole time!
Oh.
You got it! You got it!
Half of who we getting next?
I don't know who I'm gonna shoot next.
Well, Hafu's dead next round anyway, so.
You have to go.
Yeah, I mean, but I see Heart's corpse, so I think he's...
Yeah, he walked out of comms and Kimmy's body was in there.
Not to be a snitch, but when Sykkuno left, I did overhear him say something.
What did he say, Toast? Give us a crumb, Toast.
Sykkuno, go ahead.
What's up? What did I see?
The last thing you said to Tina.
The last thing I said to Tina?
Yeah.
Oh, I said she ran off from the lights, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was so excited, my hands were sweating, and I was
Me and Jack walked up on the
for
body.
2 minutes. I was thinking Tasma's crew because I was so nervous.
Okay,
Jack,
halfway.
you know it's not me,
Halfway,
right, Jack?
did you
We
kill
walked up
corpse?
together.
And
I would
office,
never vote you out, buddy.
But I mean,
I just
if you
walked
did,
past someone, I
it
think
was me.
it was like Leslie. I walked past Leslie or one of them,
Sykkuno,
and
I'd
then I
never
just
vote you
stabbed
out.
corpse. I think I walked by Leslie.
Guys, I mean, the safe thing to do would be vote off Hafu.
No, she sounds way too innocent.
I mean, she does, but I'm just saying, technically,
That is the safe play.
Get it, you know who.
Alright, Hafu, you know exactly who to go for. You know the impossible.
Believe.
Just do it,
Toast.
Hafu. Do it.
All my jellies are telling me
No one was dying on the
Because I'm alive on 6, Leslie. Your jelly's stupid.
No, I'm
Hold
just
on,
saying.
Leslie. Let me
To
do
your
it.
heart.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take that. Do something, Leslie.
For you.
I'm Sykkuno, and I'm
Listen to
protecting
your
you. I'll
heart.
kill you.
What?
Nothing
Wait,
else you can
Leslie, I
do.
would. What?
Oh, right, I'm freaking.